Hello, everyone. This is Gio Andrews doing episode 9 through 10 for Uzaki-chan. I really tried to make the last episode as fast as possible. It still ended up being 20 minutes, but I also got through 3 episodes that in total were probably close to an hour altogether. So I tried to get down as fast as I possibly could, or as short as I possibly could for the review. So now this is 10, or 9 and 10. So 10 is a nostalgia trip for me. I know a lot of anime has misconceptions of what's happening physically and wrong phrasing, stuff like that. But there's not a lot of shows that give me the feeling of nostalgia watching Three's Company. Of almost half the episode or the whole episode just being a misunderstanding of a sexual nature and them trying to figure out what's happening, but the one person has a wrong idea. That's basically what's happened. That completely. This episode kind of just completely reminds me of Three's Company all the way through, almost. So this episode introduces a new character, and that is Uzaki-chan's mom. She's 43. She's kind of like how Uzaki was in high school. I'm trying to pronounce her name Suki Uzaki. I think that's how you say it. She's basically really quiet. She's protective. She's very young. She's basically a young looking person compared to her age, and she's basically just a really caring mother about her. So Sakurai and Uzaki go to visit her because Sakurai wants to give back what's left over from the money that he got paid from Uzaki about the mattress. And then he also knows that there's a cat at their place, so he's like, cats, I'm totally there. So during the whole sequence, she believes that he's scary, but he finally realized that no, he's not as scary as I thought. It's just his eyes are what's scary. And then after that, he finally sees a cat, and he sees the cat out of the mom's lap. He's just staring at the cat, just staring with a smile, yeah, that's a cat. And suddenly, the mom gets real self-conscious, why are you staring at me? Why are you staring at my chest? Why are you staring down there? And it becomes a just miswording and misunderstanding where he thinks the daughter and Sakura have a relationship, and they want her to be in the relationship, basically. And it's just a weird sequencing of it, and that it never gets cleared up. And he finally leaves. He's like, I don't know what just happened, but that was weird. And he goes on to the next scene. There's no clearing up, nothing after that. Just goes on to the next scene, which is Uzaki-chan's mom in the bar where she works, asking the boss what's the deal with Sakurai? What's wrong with him? They go, there's nothing wrong with him. He's a good guy. Just a lot of women are, a lot of older women are attracted to him. She goes, okay, that's fine. It was my misunderstanding. So she tries to apologize, and while she's trying to apologize, Uzaki and Sakurai are in the back talking about some kind of coffee grounds. And again, it becomes a misword, just misunderstanding, because she's about to knock on the door, and she hears them talking, decides not to, and hears how he likes older, mature something or other. I can't remember fully, but it's he's basically saying, I like mature, I like, older things or whatever. And she's like, what? And that might be about me. What's going on? And again, it doesn't get cleared up. That's it. It's the end of the scene almost. So after that, after she leaves Uzaki and Sakurai back to arguing, she goes, why can't you be like your mom? And she comes in the next day acting like her mom, where she's caring for him and saying, be careful, all this stuff. And he's like, what have you done with Uzaki? Where is she? And he gets really weirded out until he finally apologizes, and they still argue you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. So then it happens to the point where a little boy says, I'm going to give you this raffle voucher if you stop arguing. And they go, okay, fine. But can you see where this is going? A raffle voucher? A contest? What are they going to win? Any guesses? Any guesses of what they're gonna win? Like almost any anime ever that always gets a raffle, they win a free vacation. Basically, they win a vacation, which I'm tired of that happening. Like raffles, them having like a raffle, they win a vacation. Like I want something where they win something different, and not like it's something that says, oh, they might win this trip, but they're gonna win something completely different, which is kind of I kind of like I very rarely see it, and it's just something that should happen more. So they go on the vacation. Two shadowy figures are following them as they're going through their vacation, and that's where it ends. But the episode, I like the episode. It's just the ending that really gets me. I'm not a fan of when they do raffles and they win like trips instantly. I really hate that. I'm not a fan. I guess it makes the episode more interesting. Gives the author a little bit more wiggle room to go different places. I just wasn't a fan of that, but I definitely think for an episode, it's good. It reminds me of Three's Company, which Three's Company was a fantastic show. So I definitely would give it a watch. Both Three's Company and Uzaki-chan episode 9. So 10, I'm kind of iffy on. So the shadowy figures finally show themselves, which is going to be obvious of Ami and Sagaki, which is like kind of duh. It's two shadowy figures following them. Only two that really, mess with them are those two. So they drive around, and basically they tag along now. They're like partly all together. They're taking them all these different places. Basically, they're taking them to like convenience stores and like going to dunes and basically all these different places. The animation is a little weird because it kind of takes the characters out of place and doesn't really edit them very well as motioning through. It just feels weird. It just overall it kind of feels like an advertisement. Like they're just trying to advertise like the places that they visit. Like what's it called? Onomoji no Kami, the white hair of Inaba, or the Hakaku Shrine. Sorry. Those kind of places. Like it just feels like that's what it basically is. After that, I mean, it's kind of just like minor romance things that come up, like just tense romance things, minor silly things like that. And it comes to a point where Sakura is like, I know what you're doing. I just want to have fun. Like, me and her are just going to have fun. This is ridiculous. We didn't come here for this. We came here for vacation. So, I feel like that basically sums it up. Like, if you feel like that's a terrible summary, it's not. It's basically that's what it is. They visit different shrines. They visit different places, and they not Uzaki, but Sagaki and Ami are trying to get them together through this, like through visiting all these places that are for couples. And it's kind of like I don't really feel it. You know what I mean? Like this episode just feels kind of just like marketing. It's like, oh yeah, you should visit these places too. You should visit this and that and this and that. And I'm like, no, I don't really care for this. It doesn't impede. Well, it impedes the story, but it doesn't make the story go forward. It doesn't really add anything to it. It adds like maybe slightly romantic tones, but it doesn't like really feel like anything's there. So, I mean, I feel like you could skip episode 10. You could watch episode 9, skip episode 10, and more than likely fine at episode 11. It's going to be a continuation of episode 10, but I feel like maybe 10 after 10, 11 will have more substance to it. I hope, but we'll see. So overall, that's my general take on it. Still having a good time, like watching it, but I just feel like some episodes are not worth watching. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope your day's awesome as you are. Have a nice day.